Right, so to start today's episode off, we're going to make a big signing, possibly 2 big signings in today's episode, or maybe 3 big signings, depending on what we do in this episode and what's possible for us to do. We've got 305 million to spend, so money is not an issue for us right now. But we're planning to sign a world-class CDM. Archie Gray is great, but as a player that you guys have commented down below and you would like to see us sign in this team, we're going to bring in today's episode, probably the title and thumbnail of the episode, and possibly also Romero could be leaving us. As a captain, it would be a big play for us to lose. He's a great player for us in the squad, and he obviously did win the Champions League with us last season, and looking to do the double this season and win the Premier League and the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, etc. alongside another Champions League with us. But if we get a big offer for him, or maybe a swap deal that I might do with with maybe Barcelona for a certain player in their team who you guys want to see us sign, and possibly that could happen, and also a world-class striker to back up John Duran, who's been great for us in this team so far. Hasn't scored as many goals in played games as we expected after scoring 3 in his first game inside 35 minutes. And since then, he's struggled to really score in played games. It's been Matthias Tell, who's been getting all the goals in played games most of the time. Let's get into the transfer window and sign at least 2 players to massively improve this team. And the first signing to join us here for 75 million from Newcastle is Sandro Tonali, the former AC Milan midfielder, now 87 rated in the game, a world-class midfielder. Like I mentioned, we're going to bring into the team to replace Archie Gray. And nothing against Archie Gray, it's been incredible for me in the team. I do really like him. But as Sandro Tonali and also Conor Gallagher is a much better midfield for us to hopefully go on to win the Premier League, or to win everything this season. We're looking to win 4 trophies in the season, as well as the Super Cup at the start. And Tonali is a big signing here for 75 million, but we've got one more to show you up next. And well, we didn't get the animation for the second one, but it's going to be Ronald Araujo, who's joining us from Barcelona. Basically, Barca came in for Romero. It actually happened in the game, which I didn't expect to happen. They came in for Romero at the start of the transfer window, and I said, you know what, let's swap Romero for Araujo. You guys wanted that to happen in the comments down below, so it made it happen. Araujo is now a Spurs player. Romero has gone to Barcelona, and the question is, who should now be our captain? Now Romero's left. It's gone to Gallagher, who obviously is a new signing for Spurs, and obviously I think I'm going to give it to probably I don't know who to give it to realistically. I feel like we might as well give it to Pedro Porro for now. He's been the player that's been here the longest in the first team anyway. I feel like he's been there longer than Mickey Van der Ven, I think. And the new team now looking pretty good. Araujo and Tonali into the team does improve as well. Pace-wise, Araujo is better. Defensively, not as good, but playstyle is better. I think is better than Romero in game. And we need to make one more signing, which I think is going to be a world-class striker to back up Duran in the team. And becoming our backup striker to John Duran is going to be Sergio Guirassy, the 30-year-old 85-rated striker, signed for 40 million from Dortmund. Obviously, a very, very good striker we can bring into the team. Did great at Stuttgart before joining Dortmund. Has done great things for them. So just being there, he's going to sign here for us to be an experienced backup player to, obviously, like I said, John Duran as striker. If Duran doesn't start scoring more in played games, and Guirassy could take over. He's technically better as a striker, but pace-wise is a lot lower than Duran. He's got 88 pace, if I'm not mistaken. But Guirassy is our final signing of this window. Let's get into our first big game of today's episode. And after making those big signings, our first game is going to be Arsenal away from home at the Emirates. And last episode, we did draw against them in a game we should have won. So let's get into this one and get some revenge for that draw they handed us last episode. You can see the table right now. Despite us being undefeated, Man City are still close to us, and even Liverpool and Man United aren't too far away realistically. Arsenal not really as well, and even Brighton are only 10 points behind us in the table. So if we do what Arsenal are doing right now, which is dropping points, I literally drew today against Wolves 2-2 to drop even more points in the title race, and Man City now being closest behind them in the table. Which I said from the start of the season, I've always said to people who've asked me, like, do I think Arsenal will win the league? And I said no. Because they don't have what it takes. They lose too many games. They draw too many games. The games they need to win, they don't. And Man City are a team that when they need to win, most of the time, they win. Which is why I think the team I support, Man City, unbiasedly anyway, will win the league title this season IRL. But let's get into this series and hopefully, this first game of the episode, up against Arsenal, and hopefully get some more points clear on Man City, who are most likely going to beat Sheffield United, though, to keep behind us. But a win here for us is big, though, and hopefully to avenge a draw. Last episode, our new signings of Araujo and Tonali made their debuts in this game as well. Tonali makes his debut in the team. Araujo at centre-back as well, making his debut. Matthias Tell looking to continue where he left off last episode with David Raya. Does what he did last episode against us, which is make a big save. So we drew against Arsenal in that game, which we deserve to win, but you know, it is where it is. And that they need to fix that. From corners there, that pass is always awful. Ball to the back stick, and that's overhit though. Again, he is a player that Spurs fans are expecting to leave next season, so seeing him as captain might not be the most realistic. But the same with Pedro Porro, who's been linked away with recent talks of it's a Bayern Munich, Man City. Now, like Madrid could have said, puts that far wide of the post though. Needs to do better with that attempt. They ran through, and Kudus can't open the scoring. Reyes, I thought low driven would be better for us there, but I should have gone power. You know, only ran away, Kate. Down here to Urian Timber. That's good defending from Madoji. He can get the ball away as well. It's a great pass into Matthias Tell. Can drive it forward into John Duran and get it to Simmons, who can do the same. He can now release Duran forward, and Duran. How is Reyes? Duran is cursed, I swear, man. He scored his 3 goals against Roma, and I don't think I've scored in a played game with him since. Maybe one goal. But someone cursed him after that game. Araujo in the centre. Can the Uruguayan win the header? Araujo does, and Raya makes the save. Raya is OP, man. Okay, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Odegaard. Araujo blocks. He's having a great game so far, Araujo. Almost scored a goal. Has defended well. And Duran feeds through Matthias Tell. Matthias Tell finally opens the scoring just before the half-time break. We finally get the go-ahead goal in this game, as we deserve. And while Duran hasn't been scoring as much in played games, but he's been getting a bunch of assists, which is why I don't mind him doing what he's doing. But with now Garassi behind him, he's going to get a chance at some point. I might bring him on in the second half, or maybe in the 60th minute. But yeah, Matthias Tell runs through, gets his 12th goal in 17 games in the Prem. He's having an insane season in this team. Like, he is unbelievably good at that left wing position, cutting in on his right foot and finessing it into the far corner and scoring goals for us. It was Xavi Simmons. Releases Mohamed Kudus. He can draw that into John Duran. And Duran scores. You love to see it. Duran finally gets a goal in the played game since that Roma game. If you didn't watch last episode, you don't know what I mean by that, but I recommend you go back and check out the full series so far and the other content on the channel. But Duran finally gets a goal in the played game since that Super Cup final, which was his debut. Kudus shows it in. Duran was onside. Simple finish for him. Makes it 2-0. And Arsenal haven't done anything in this game. And surprisingly, they were better away from home. Also, we're playing in the Emirates. And also in this game, attacking-wise, and even defensively, have been poor. But in the last episode, in that 1-1 draw they got against us, they were a lot better than this. As Kudus just simply stands in the way and gets the ball. Lovely bit of skill there from Mohamed Kudus. Having tracked down by Lewis Skelly, but it's not going to get there. As Kudus is still going. Kudus, how has Saliba got there before the shot was taken? Gyökeres blocked by Van der Ven. Okay, that's not the skill move that I wanted their game. That's completely ruined everything there. And also might score. Oh, Martinelli actually did be in there. He shoots. And what a save by Trubin. Oh no, the game. What have you done there? What have you done there? What have you done there? I'm going to concede. I can feel it coming because this game is to win. Just a lot of stuff I'm not telling it to do right now. Garassi. That's a free kick, surely, ref. How is that not a foul? But somehow Tonali in there, but Rice steals it. This game has become hectic at the end. And Gyökeres denied by Trubin again. From him. And Tonali, he just overran the ball. I wanted to pass it out wide to both. It's a 2-0 win though. Away from home at the Emirates. A big 3 points for us. He avenged the drop points we had against him last episode. Duran gets a goal for the first time in a while in a played game. And Matthias Tell continues what he was doing. If it wasn't for Trubin, we would have drew this game because... And also, and to be fair, Ryan made some big saves in the first half, but in the last 20 or so minutes of this game, we just couldn't do anything. I'm not too sure what changed, but our team just fell off massively. But luckily, We'd already won the game by then. Alright, so next up we're taking on Manchester United here on deadline day. They currently are 9 points behind us in the table in 4th place. Let's get into this one. And by the way, the game we're gonna play next is literally the next game week against Manchester City. So that's going to be a big game to play after this one. Let's get into this one now and hopefully do exactly what we did against Arsenal. And let's walk out of this with the 3 points at home. We've expected him to link up with his former manager at Spurs, but instead joined United, but it's kind of worked out for him in the end. Ball in there, looking for Duran on the header. Duran's header saved by Lamens in goal. Boom out. Edoji doesn't do that as well, but Truman gets the easy catch there. Duran, love to see that from him. Ball forward into Mohamed Kudus. And Kudus now shoots, and Lamens missed a big save. Duran hit to Simmons. Simmons is taken out from behind. So we're about to put the ball through to John Duran. That should be a red card for Man United. But no, Malik could be a yellow for mine. There was going to be a red card for Manu. And that is fair. He denied a goal scored opportunity from behind. And there's a rash challenge there from him. And Manu gets sent off. I mean, I get a free kick in a pretty dangerous position. And we're going to give it to Sandro Tonali. It's going to be an interesting run up here for us to try and score with. Tonali going to get his first goal in the Spurs shirt from a free kick. He hits it just over the roof of the net though. Araujo intercepts. Duran. You know, why not Duran from here? Finesse shot. Denied by Lamens. Now from the corner, Araujo, he should have a pretty good chance at winning this header now. They're down to, they've got one less man in there. Araujo denied by Martinez from the header. Interesting. Good steal there from Duran. Needs a pass though. Gallagher. Here to Kudus, but Malacia gets the ball off as Duran. You know, why not Duran? Not quite the ability from shots that like he does of IRL, as he just completely, I don't even know what happened there. Seeing any extra man ability in midfield for us. Conor Gallagher now hits it wide of the post. Oh, Martinez, what was that? Thank you. He puts his hand up, but there's no apologising that can save you from that error. And John Duran scores. It's a gift from United. Courtesy of Alessandro Martinez. And probably the easiest goal Duran will ever score for us. It just gets past the ball and wraps it into the far corner, into the top corner, sorry. And makes it 1-0 against 10-man Man United. Loose ball here. Gallagher. Tell on the turn. Oh, I should have taken the shot. Mazraoui gets the ball off us there. Simmons releases. Mohamed Kudus. Now Duran. Deflected by Mazraoui out for a corner. Blocked by Araujo. Come on lads, we're against 10-man Man United and we can't beat them more than 1-0. What's happening here? We annihilated Roma, who won the Europa League in the Super Cup, and against 10-man Man United here. Yes, they're 4th in the table. Duran, long shots in this game are just useless. Well, I feel like Man United are going to score with their first shot of the game, like Arsenal did, and actually get a draw here. Because right now, we really can't score. We can't even create chances right now. There we go, Duran. Kudus, why are you just standing there? He cuts it back. Not the pass I wanted, but we'll make it work. Tonali. Bruno blocks. Every shot I take or cross I try to do, it's blocked, man, right now. This is actually frustrating me, this game. Despite us winning, we should be winning by more goals. Araujo. Poor header. Okay, Simmons. Kudus, please. There we go. Finally. As if it's taken us this long to get an actual deserved goal in this game. I'm not sure why Cudis isn't celebrating, but he's just teleported through the for the LED board there. But he scores to make it 2-0 and finally put this game to bed. I'm not playing the rest. Actually, I might as well play the rest of it, just in case there's any like injuries or anything that happens if I sim it. But this has been such a disappointing performance from the team. And we haven't played bad either. That's the worst part. We played great, but we just haven't scored goals up until right here. And that's our first proper goal of the game. The first one was actually gifted to us. This game is effectively 1-0 because that first goal realistically shouldn't have happened. Martin has made a massive error. Duran releases Tell. It's a very quiet game with Tell. But he might be able to make up for it here with Lemensa with a save. Last chance of the game with the corner. I play it short. That's just why it's constantly Pedro Porro here now. But Simmons, not the best effort. It's a 2-0 win. We take it. Well, it should have been better against a 10-man United side. We should have won this game like 3 or 4 goals, if not more. Alright, so next up, like I said, is Manchester City here. They're currently on 9 points behind us in the table in the second place. So let's get into this one and hopefully defeat Man City here. Obviously, they have signed one of our players, Dejan Kulusevski, at the start of the season. They signed him for 80 million from us. When we played against him last episode, he came on and didn't really do anything against us. He came on pretty late though in the game that was already won for us. Matthias Tell. It's incredible there from the Frenchman. Could he score? Donnarumma makes a save. Simmons. Can Araujo do what he did against Arsenal? It's win a header here and maybe getting himself a goal here as Araujo wins the header, but it's wide of the post. Lovely play here being brought up by us. Duran sends through Matthias, so he's got Mark Gay ahead of him. Gay does well there. Just wanted to try and knock it for his legs there, but a skill move I wanted didn't happen. Kudus, Duran, Simmons scores. I had to take the shot there, and Xavi Simmons opens the scoring. Gets 7th goal of the season for us, number 7, and his 7th goal. You'd have to see it. It's a big goal for us in this game, as the Vuvuzelas going off in the pub there. And Simmons played for. I had to take the shot because Rico Lewis and Mark Gay were going to get there before he could play a pass or anything. And the Dutchman finds the back of the net to put us ahead in this one here. Didn't react to what I tried to do there. It's a perfect storm of everything there. Simmons steals it off them now. And Duran should have scored. Poor pass from him. Pedro Porro intercepts. Simmons, Gallagher to Duran. Simmons back through to him. And Duran makes it 2-0. And it seems the curse has been lifted on John Duran because he's now scoring goals in played games. We should have to see. And it's 2-0 here to us at the Etihad. And Man City fans are wondering what's happened to their team. They were 9 points behind us going into this game. Looking like they're going to give us a title fight. And right now they're not showing any fight in this game. They've not done anything against us attacking wise in this game, similar to Arsenal and Man United so far. They haven't. I don't think we conceded many, like 2 or 3 chances, and that was it in the Arsenal game where Truba made some big saves. But other than that, Man United didn't do anything attacking wise towards the end. They did a few things, and Man City so far have done nothing attacking wise. But ahead to go Savinho. If I say that and concede shot and kick off, there we go, Tonali, thank you. And we get another goal here. Matthias Tell. Margay, he makes the error. And Tell makes him pay. And it's 3-0 here. Inside the first half. And we are playing some great football. But I am disappointed in Man City. I thought that was going to be a good game for us. Last time we played them, They were pretty decent. But so far, they just haven't topped to this game. Gahey stepped in there, didn't need to do so, should have kept running with Matthias Tell. And Donnarumma couldn't make the save he probably should do. Matthias Tell, I just wanted him to take one more touch there and shoot. But look, we get to see, that's the half-time whistle. And the Man City fans are relentlessly booing their team. I would be as well if I was there. And it's sim to the end, and it ends up being a 3-0 win for us with no injuries, which was to see. And the 3 points against a very, very poor City team who managed one shot in the whole game. Alright, so next up we're taking on Liverpool, currently third in the table, joint second with Man City on 60 points. We're top of the table on 69 points, so we're 9 points ahead of them going into this game. And if we beat them, obviously that means we go 12 points clear of Liverpool. If Man City win their game, they'll still be behind us by a decent margin, but we at least get some more ground on another team behind us in the table. Let's get into this game now, and hopefully continue our great form in today's episode and beat another big team in the Prem. Liverpool are going to be good against us, because Liverpool in this series have been awful against us every time we faced them. There's Kirkez in a Gakpo. Isak shoots, and Trubin is offside anyway, but Trubin should have caught that shot, but he parried it out for a corner. And we can win the header, get it to Conor Gallagher here, can drive it forward. Give it to Matthias Tell. Great move there from the French, but he shoots on his left foot for some reason. Why is he shooting a finesse shot on his left foot there? He's not even left footed, he's right footed. Xavi Simons now. Again, the stadium shadows are back on for some reason. I just wish that setting actually worked. Simons, with that from you. That is meant to go to Tell. It's so obvious it's trying to go to Tell. It's wide open, directly ahead of Simons. Why is it trying to pass it to John Duran? Kudus making a good run here. The first touch is going to help us, and it does. Tell shoots first time. That's a great goal. Yeah, but the reason why I said that first touch was going to help us, because basically I was waiting for that first touch to go wrong with Mohamed Kudus there. It was a make or break moment. If he took a bad first touch, I wasn't going to score there. But he took that touch of his chest perfectly right there, and that set us up perfectly for this goal. Inside, Matthias Tell, first time strike into the back of the net, makes it 1-0. Great movement there for Matthias Tell, and makes it 1-0 to us. John Duran. Xavi Simons. Tonali Tau was on side, not sure why he ran away, but he gets back on side. He hits the post. Simons. Tau over here to Tonali, inside here to Kudus. Returns, driven, shoots, and he misses. Why is it Pedro Porro here again? I don't know why it's always Pedro Porro here, and that pass is always bad. It's always under hit for no reason. Okay, that works out for us. Simons. Hits the post. Duran. Matthias Tell, why didn't he shoot sooner? Isak back into McAllister, back into Isak. That's a second shot of the game. Van der Ven blocks it, thankfully for us. I had to focus up there, and Liverpool have now gone all of a sudden super high press. But it's now last chance of the game. Can we create something here? Ball into the box, back six, looking for Matthias Tell, the header. Addison makes a save. Last chance here now from this corner. Let's whip it in, looking for Araujo. Try to score a corner. And Araujo win this header. The Uruguayan doesn't. Tonali, first time. Imagine if that went in. It's a 1-0 win against Liverpool in such a boring game. Liverpool had two shots. One of them was in the opening moments of the game. The second was blocked by Van der Ven towards the end there. But that was such a boring game. I feel like I need to change the sliders again. It gets so annoying having to change the sliders every week for this game to make it fun to play, to make the AI actually do stuff against me. Because look at that, just pure domination from me. I didn't even have a fun game myself, but I won. The AI did nothing against me. That I didn't even have to play the best football possible. And well, after that boring game against Liverpool, we're still in the round 16 of the Champions League against Napoli. We beat them 3-2 overall. I decided to sim it because, well, we won the Champions League last season. Our team should at least make it through to the quarterfinals, semi-finals without having need us to touch the Champions League games, that if anything like that, maybe like a big team we get next up, I might have to play it. But right now, I feel like we have a pretty good squad that should make it pretty far. Considering this team is a lot better than it was last season, and we won the Champions League. And if we don't win it this season, it will be kind of like a disappointing, kind of like Liverpool in the Prem, where they spent loads of money and they are doing worse than they did last season, so that sort of thing. But we're now going to get into the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal at Wembley. Let's get into this one, hopefully win our third trophy of the series here. Well, Odegaard gets the game kicked off. And one thing I need to bring up as well, if you're watching this far into the video, first of all, I appreciate you, and drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. And check out the other comments I've done on the channel so far. But also, drop in the comments below if you're watching this far, if you prefer the episodes like this, you know, the longer episodes with more in them than like a 25 to 30-minute episode, like a 40 minutes to an hour long video that I'm doing with these recently. Matthias Tell, trying to get a quick start here. Tonali is offside. Yeah, players in this game didn't stand there for about a decade offside. That'd be great. I didn't do anything against us attacking wise, and it seems like it might be the same again. Simmons. Put over top to Duran, he should be onside here. And the ball catches up to him, he gets the goal, love to see it. That ball took a while to get to him, to the point where he had to take it on the turn there on a half volley. But thankfully Duran finds the back of the net there. 14 minutes in, puts us ahead in the Carabao Cup final. Obviously a trophy we couldn't win last season because Spurs got knocked out IRL in this competition. Obviously the same with the FA Cup. So this season we're looking to win them both, as well as the Premier League and also the Champions League for a second time. And well, you have to see it there. Duran scores, make it 1-0. Gallagher steals it. Simmons through to John Duran, and it might be 2-0 straight away here. Raya, good save. Tonali. And Duran or Saliba, just don't be injured, Duran. Please get up. At least we have Garassi, but please don't be injured, Duran. Gonna take him off at half time. Oh no, not before the half time break. Saka, there's Van der Ven. And it's been a very boring game so far. Also done nothing against us attacking wise. We've done barely anything since we scored that goal. We had one chance that Duran should have scored. And when Duran's picked up an injury, so we have to take him off and bring on Garassi up front. Not a bad change, you know what I mean? Bring on Garassi as a backup striker. Got us inside, Garassi. Tonali hits it, Raya with the save. That completely negates all our players pretty much. Kudus. Gallagher deflected by Marino out for a corner. That's been this game. That has been this game. Havertz is now on for them. Just try to win a header with Araujo. Araujo wins the header, but it's saved by David Raya on counters and stuff. Especially when they don't defend the ball when you're holding 0-2. It doesn't matter who it is. It feels like right now. I feel like he's got the enforcer play style as well. That's meant to make the player harder to get off the ball. But right there you just saw Declan Rice just easily push Garassi off the ball. This game has been such a haram. Arsenal are back to a Harambo FC in FC 26 again. They were like this a few months ago. Every time I played them I hated it. They're back to that again. Simmons steals it. Why? I'm trying to play an over-the-top through ball in behind into the space. Why has it gone about 2 feet in the air? We get a 1-0 win in this final. So let's cut to the trophy lift, because this has been such a boring experience, this final. Nothing's happened. Alright, so we'll win the Carabao Cup, but the downside to this is Duran might be out injured. This was such a boring and just awful gaming experience. Like, nothing happened in this game. We scored a goal, and after that, it was just back and forth in midfield for like 70, 80 minutes. And that was such a bad game. Like, it actually has pissed me off how bad that game was. But we win the Carabao Cup here. Conor Gallagher lifts it, which should have to see. And hopefully Duran isn't injured Let's check his injury and hopefully taking him off at half time has minimised that risk and hopefully he's going to be completely fine. Alright, so here we are, the semi-final second leg of the Champions League. I did play the first leg, but it would have been pointless for you guys to watch it. Genuinely, it would have been so pointless for you guys to watch it. It was such a boring game. It ended 1-1. We scored in the 12th minute with Duran, and then they scored in the 89th minute after having like 2 shots all game to get a 1-1 draw. We had like 5 chances we should have scored, which we couldn't do so. And I just deleted the footage because I didn't want to put it in the episode because it just wasn't worthwhile you guys watching. So I thought, you know what, I'll sim to the second leg and play it there. We're facing Real Madrid in the final if we can beat PSG here away in Paris, but I need this series to be over so I can just reset the sliders and stuff like that and make them better again and like edit them. And I don't know what I need to do. I really don't, because this game, the first episode of this series that I played, I was having so much fun, and then after that it's gone downhill, and this episode has just been so boring and just dry. It's been the same game over and over. We score first, we then can't create any chances after that. The AI do nothing. They get a late goal to earn a point or just about almost get a win, or or almost get a draw, whatever. I just don't want to sit here and complain, but what else can I do when I play this game? Like, I can't sit here and be like, this game's great. I wish I could. I want to, but I can't the way we were playing. And we are playing some great football now and again, yes, but this episode has been as Matthias Tel runs through and makes it 1-0. That didn't happen at all, by the way, in the first game. No, I literally recorded and I played. We didn't have any openness like that. More of that, please, game. We score first in the opening, literally from kickoff. We score. It is where it is, though. I swear Vuvuzelas or whatever it is wasn't in that animation beforehand. That's new, right? I never heard that in the 4 months this game's been out. I've never heard that in that cutscene. But we score first there in the second leg to make it 2-1 overall. Matthias Tel with a goal. But yeah, I felt like I was kind of having the most fun in criminal when I was using like the 4-1-2-1-2 and arrow, or like formations are different. Now I do have fun with some formations like this where I can play some great football, but okay. Okay, Simmons trying to get it through. Forces Duran, who shoots and misses. Okay, Simmons with that from you across. Duran. Not this again. I had that was the whole first leg where Chevalier just making saves he shouldn't be making. Good challenge from Van der Ven. Simmons, Duran, you've got to score here. If he didn't score that, I don't know what I was going to say, but he ricochets it, he rifles it off the bar and in. It's 3-2 here. Last time we scored, we conceded straight from kickoff, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But I don't know what I need to do with this game to make it fun again. I mean, there's not much I can do. There's a lot of stuff that EA can do, as a company themselves with this gameplay. They can reverse it back to the way it was at the start of this game, with open attacking football and like manual defending being the main thing, and like AR defending not being there as much as it was, and the openness we did have with this game with the attacking play. Bring that back. Just make this game more attacking for a month and see what happens. Just see. Like, remove the AI defending as OP as it is right now. You know what I mean? Like, remove that. Make the dribbling better, more like it was literally as you said it would be in the trailer, more dynamic, more agile players were, cutting through teams if they were good at dribbling and you did well with the dribbling. Not stuff like that, where like you just try to do a bit of skill and then your player just forgets about the ball existing. Like, just bring back the stuff you said you were going to give us at the start, and you did give us at the start for a little while, but then everyone cried it was bad at defending and like needs a game to defend for them and do everything for them. They cried that they couldn't win games, and you gave it back to them because you've got no backbone as a company. I might make a whole rant video about this game. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I want to say, but everyone right now is making a rant video about this game. I don't just want to make one for the sake of making one. You know, GT I've been grinding. And I feel like just when I come to this game, I'm just instantly like in a worse mood just by seeing this game. Blocked by Araujo out for a corner. Oh, thank you. Please. Oh. What is that goal I've just conceded? If I conceded a header, fair enough, it's a header. Oh, what is this? Why is he taking a touch? What is that? Just clear it. In what world is Van der Ven in real life going to take a touch there? The ball's in the 6-yard box. The keeper's on the floor. He's going to just hoof it away. Okay, we'll win a free kick to Ali. Please score this for just my sanity. Please score this. I'll put us back in the lead. Sandro Tonali from the free kick. Beautiful free kick. Hold that, PSG. Oh, this game today, this whole recording session, it's just not been fun. It really hasn't. And the worst thing is, I was having fun in this series with the first episode and a bit in the second episode, but this episode, I feel like the gameplay has just gone. I don't know what's changed. This feels like some days this game is like fun, and then it just changes out of nowhere to just being. It's bipolar. It's schizophrenic. That's where it is. Monotone. This is a series finale. I should be in a much better mood than I am for this. I've got the ball. I didn't call back. It's not even a red. So why are you put? They score again. Thank you, Araujo. That's going to be no handball, but it's going to be end of the game. A 3-2 win over PSG. I probably just showed you the goals that we scored and conceded in this game, because again, it was a boring game. It was a very frustrating game. The goals we conceded, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to see ever again. I mean, unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to watch them again in the editing, but, you know, we win this game, that's all that matters. But again, look at that. They had 3 shots. They did nothing. We had nearly double their passes. Like, something needs to change with this game, and it's not going to happen. We're going to be stuck with this gameplay for the next, 7 months? More than that, probably. No, I think, is it 7 months? I don't even know. For the rest of this game cycle, we're going to be stuck with this gameplay. And it's just going to drive me insane. And, well, as you can see, we've been crowned champions of the Premier League here. And, well, we did this with, 3 or 4 games left to spare, which is pretty impressive. So I just summed through a bunch of games that it said, and next game if we win, we are crowned champions. So I've literally just simmed to the end of it, and we've got to win pretty much. You know what I mean? Conor Gallagher steps up to lift the Premier League trophy, which we'll have to see. And we are crowned champions of the Premier League. We've won the Carabao Cup, we've won the Champions League, we've won the UEFA Super Cup. And well, next up we have the FA Cup to try and win, and also the Champions League for a second time in this series. Alright, so next up it is the FA Cup finals. We try to win the domestic treble here. Obviously, we did just win the Premier League title. We'll win the FA Cup earlier. Oh, not the FA Cup earlier, the Carabao Cup earlier. That's to try and win the FA Cup here. Let's get into this one at Wembley, up against Man City, and hopefully win this one as well. And then after this, we're going to get into the Champions League finals, hopefully end the series off on the highest, possibly winning the second Champions League trophy in the series. Shirky really does well for Man City, man. Obviously, right now he's playing great for us. As ball into the box, Haaland's header would have been handball, and I think against him anyway. But yeah, I'm really hoping that Ryan Shirky can continue the levels of performance he's putting in. Kudus sends through John Duran. That's exactly where we want John Duran to be. But back here to Kudus. Good play here. Kudus through, and Kudus scores. And while his former team is a Chrome mode that I'm thinking about doing, and by the way, that is actually, to be fair, we could do an Ajax Chrome mode and also the West Ham Chrome mode pretty soon. But I think next up I want to take a trip back to Germany and do a Hamburg or Dortmund series. And I'm kind of leaning towards more Hamburg than Dortmund, but both of them would be fun to do. But Kudus here scores to make it 1-0. And drop in the comments down below if you're watching this far, what series we should do next. Should it be Dortmund, Hamburg, West Ham, you know, Ajax, Porto maybe? There's a bunch of great teams we could do. Deportivo La Coruña over in Spain as a longer term series, could be fun to do. He sells the ball. Belgian. Kovacic, Rodri, in at Doku, who shoots. So there's a good save there for Anton Trubin to keep us 1 goal to the good here. That's a great save there by Trubin as well, by the way. Ball into the box, looking for Haaland, whose header is over the bar. John Duran, ball forward here to Mohamed Kudus here. Can we get a second goal? Matthias Tel shoots, deflected and saved by Donnarumma. It's a big save there from the Italian. They did take a deflection if I'm not mistaken. It did just about off Gahey. It would have been going out for a corner anyway, but Donnarumma made the save just to be safe. Araujo. That crosses way deep into the box than I expected, and Donnarumma had to make the save. So we didn't really get to use them that much in that Man City crew. Did at the start of the year. That's the issue with doing the Man City series. You don't really have much time to use their players, because if you win the Champions League first season like you're meant to, as Kudus makes it 2. Yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of players in the Man City team that I want to use more. And Fulham is the team that I want to do a chroma with now. Oscar Bob is there. I was already thinking about doing a Fulham series, but Oscar Bob being there makes them a bit more of a fun series to do. Yeah, players like Marmouche, who apparently doesn't have that much potential in this game for some reason, because apparently every time in chroma when I look at him, it's this peak overall at 83 when he's only 27 years old. Like his potential should be like 88. I feel like they definitely should have boosted his potential more than they have done in this game. But yeah, there's a lot of Man City players I'd like to use again in the series, like, you know, Ryan Shirky, the likes of Marmouche, even Foden could be a fun play to use in another series. Nico Gonzalez, and some other young players in their team. Good play here, Duran. So Kudus is on for a hat-trick in this game. Duran does well to hold off Mark Gahey, and Duran makes it through. And that, an hour break or so, listening to music has clearly done some good for me. Because I'll come into this game and I'm cooking like I wasn't able to do beforehand. And the mindset I was in like an hour or so ago, like an hour and a half ago, I was just frustrated. I'm making so many stupid errors at times in attacks. But right now I'm focused, I'm composed, I'm locked in. And it's 3-0 here to us in the FA Cup final. And with me as manager, we're taking Spurs from 16th in the table to 7th in season 1 and winning the Champions League in that season to here in season 2. Winning the Super Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, and well, probably the FA Cup. I don't see us throwing this away, hopefully not. And also, we're hopefully going to beat Real Madrid in the Champions League final, as we defeated Atletico Madrid last season. We're now facing their Madrid rivals. Ryan Shirky, ball into the box. It's going to be Trubin to come out and collect low. He's one of the most technically gifted footballers ever. Man City are popping it around nicely here to all of their blocks. The attempted pass from Rico Lewis. I mean, I can get it away. And hopefully down the left there, because there's a bunch of space for us to attack into. Xavi Simons now. That shot was weird. Ball into the box. Headed away by Van der Ven. For Foden, Haaland shoots Trubin with a big save again there. Now we can counter here, maybe Matthias Tel. Simons. Duran, please stay on side. There we go. Put it inside. Duran shoots and it's saved by Donnarumma. That could have been 4. But Donnarumma stops us there. Just about. Gallagher. Wraps it. That's a great finish. He did that for us in episode 1 in a similar position. But Conor Gallagher here, this finish is just incredible. The power, the precision. Yeah, that is a striker's finish there from Conor Gallagher. Haaland, a clean sheet could be gone here. Foden, inside, blocked by Araujo. Was the attempted shot from Doku. John Duran. Mohamed Kudus. Xavi denied though by Janovic. This game could have been like, I mean, to be fair, Man City have a few opportunities that Trubin saved, but this game, if it wasn't for, Donnarumma, it could be 6-7-0. I didn't even mean to make the 6-7 joke. I hate that meme so much, I wish it would die already. He gets it into our former player, Dejan Kulusevski. And what? Trubin, please save this. If we concede here, I'm going to be frustrated. That's no penalty, thank you. Okay. An interesting end to the game there. But yeah, after this corner, the game's done. Rodri in. Cleared off the line. And there's the final. It's a 4-0 win in the FA Cup. The domestic treble has been won. Let's cut to the trophy to see Gallagher lift the FA Cup and then get into the FA Cup, the Champions League final up against Real Madrid. Now more, Conor Gallagher steps to lift the trophy. He played a great part in winning in this game. He played incredible in midfield. He's one of those midfielders that just controls the game. Just something about him in this game. He just is great for me. I don't know what it is about him. I just get on so well with Conor Gallagher in this game. It's just incredible for me. But yeah, he lifts the trophy here. The FA Cup won for Spurs. And that's our, Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, UEFA Super Cup, our 5th trophy this season, or in the series. Let's get into our next final, which is the Champions League final, and hopefully win that one as well to win six trophies in the series. Alright, so here we are, the Champions League final in Real Madrid's rivals' home stadium against the team the stadium of the team we beat in the final last season, Atletico Madrid. So maybe some good vibes for us, maybe, because we beat, Atletico Madrid last season in the competition. We're now playing in their home stadium to face their city rivals. Let's get into this one up against Real Madrid and hopefully lift the Champions League at the end of this game for a second time in this series. Only transfers to win everything, so right now we've won everything up to this point. Ball through, Duran. We get a quick start to this game, and John Duran makes it 1-0. And what a turnaround he's had in his career from being loaned out to Fenerbahce to Zenit to returning to European football here with Spurs and proving to be one of the best strikers in the world. For us up front, we gave him the trust, we gave him the confidence he needed and the ability to shut through. Obviously, Guirassy was brought in to be back up to him just in case we needed Guirassy, but we haven't really needed Guirassy at any point because Duran is just that good. Yeah, the play switching's all over the place right now. Fede Valverde hits it. Trubin, comfortable save for the now 88 rated goalkeeper. A +6 for him this season. We brought him in to replace Vicario at a lower rating. He's got up to an 88 from an 82. But it could be 2-0 here. Ball inside. Duran is 2. Spurs are not Spursy anymore. Since I've came in as manager, I've turned this team into a clinical team. Just a team that doesn't waste opportunities and goes into every game knowing they can win, and they do win. And Duran gets a brace for himself fairly quickly in this game, and Madrid are probably wondering what happened to the Spurs of old, the Spurs they've beaten in the past. Where's that Spurs gone? And the answer to that is, I'm here now. Things are different. We don't care who you are, Real Madrid. We're here to win our 2nd UCL in a row. There's Vinicius. There's Araujo. Sends for Kudus. It could be free. It isn't. It should have been free. Mohamed Kudus. Sonali. Great play. If we squat into this, Courtois puts it out for a corner. It's winning into Fede Valverde. Here is the Argentinian. Over to Vinicius. That's a good block there by Conor Gallagher. Dean Housen heads it over the bar. Oh, Matthias Tell steals it. And he cuts inside. He wraps it into the far corner. And Matthias Tell was locked in there. He was ready for that pass from Eder Militao. And he got there insanely quickly to intercept it. And then beat Militao with a cut inside right here. And what he's been doing best for us throughout this whole series, wraps the ball into the far corner with that finesse shot play style. He is incredible at that. Honestly, Matthias Tell is so good in this game at left wing. He's great at striker as well. But at left wing, I just feel like he is made for that position in this game. Cutting in with a finesse shot into the far corner. It's just his bread and butter. And Madrid are just being ransacked like we did in Man City here. And I'm just going to have to say, I have not changed anything with the sliders between the games you've watched in this episode already and the games you've just seen against Man City and this one right here. All that's happened is I sat for like an hour and a half, listened to music and vibed. And I've come back with a fresh mindset, you know, in a better mood. And it's showing because I am back to cooking with this team. And Duran is through, he's onside as well. Duran for the... He's offside? No. No, you need to show him the line. You need to show... Master Tuerner's going off already. Rodrigo coming on. Did have a face scan. Here's Eduardo Camavinga. Trubin, big save. First time he's been called into action so far. Rodrigo in. Huijsen. Vinicius. And that's a great set from Trubin, by the way. And Mbappe just punched our defender, by the way. We dominated possession with 60-something%. And we're leading this game 3-0 right now anyway. And Madrid are likely to score in this game, but we are also likely to score more by Courtois than our Shavi Simons there. Here to Jude Bellingham. Now Rodrigo. Oh no, Bellingham through to Mbappe. This is probably going to be 3-1. Trubin, what a save. Duran, Gallagher, Tonali, Kudus, and Duran gets a hat-trick, ending the series the way he started it, with a hat-trick in a final. In the Super Cup final was his debut against Roma. He scored a hat-trick inside 35 minutes. This one's taking him a bit longer, but it's free for John Duran in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. And he is, I mean, Arbeloa, you're probably going to get sacked after this game, lad. Like, sorry to do this to you, but you're probably going to get sacked. Duran once more. Simons. Kudus. Okay, interesting. Duran denied it by Courtois. Jude trying to just create something here, but he's actually cutting through. He's doing it all himself, but Araujo blocks just to give them, you know, their moments in this Champions League final. Mbappe, oh, it's done me in there. He switches to play though out wide here for no reason to Valverde. Into the box. Trubin makes a save and it's cleared by Doji. Bellingham to Mbappe. Trubin, take a bow, lad. Take a bow. Clattered there by Araujo in the final moments of the game. There must be some beef there unfinished from their days in El Clasico. Bellingham, shot taken. Trubin makes another save. He's unlucky not to get a clean sheet, to be honest. Like, he deserves a clean sheet in this game. But last kick of the game here for Real Madrid. Vinicius, are they going to get another goal? They shouldn't get another goal here. The referee should just call it to, you know, wrap it up. Mickey van der Ven gets it away. There we go. It's a 4-1 win. Our second Champions League, 2 in a row. Let's cut to the trophy lift. And for a second season in a row, see us lift the biggest trophy in club football. Now you can see the fans in the pub in England are now going from a team that they didn't used to see win trophies, a team that had won 6 trophies under me as manager, and 2 of them are the Champions League. Somehow last season we won this trophy. Against all the odds we managed to do it, but this season we deserve to win it more than, I mean, we deserve to win it last season, but you know what I mean, We should have won it this season, basically. We spent more money. The team is a lot better than it was last season. And Conor Gallagher, what a career he's had since moving from Atletico Madrid in January to being to Spurs, winning a Champions League that season, and now 5 trophies in one season as captain of the squad since Araujo left. And let's wrap up the series here, look at the stats of the players. And what a series this has been, and what a final 2 games of the season series this has been as well. And well, looking into the stats, it's clear to see why we won every trophy we could have won this season. John Duran, 29 goals and 8 assists. What a striker he's been for us in this team. Matthias Tell, 27 and 5. Sergio Guirassy in 25 games, 18 goals and 2 assists. Mohamed Kudus, 16 and 9. Mikey Moore, 16 and 10. What an underrated player he's been in this team. Xavi Simons with 12 and 24. 36 and 42 for Simons. Just what a season this has been. I mean, Odobert, he didn't play as many games this season, so he's had less of a impact on the team. But last season, he was incredible for us in the team. Obviously, we brought in Duran, which moved Tell to left wing, which then dropped Odobert to the bench as a backup player. But Mikey Moore as well, what a backup player he's been for us in the squad. But this team, even before Araujo and Tonali came in, was incredible. But bringing Tonali into the team didn't really look like much in the gameplay. You didn't really see much difference between him and Archie Gray, but he was great. Tonali was incredible. Araujo at centre-back, incredible. Like, the amount of challenges he made. Romero was great. I really liked Romero in this team, but Araujo just, I don't know. I think it's his pace that made the difference compared to Romero. It was just incredible. But the most underrated player in this team, and it's got to go to Conor Gallagher. He was unbelievable for us. Trubin coming in at an 82, now being 88 rated, is insane. Pedro Porro at right back, what a great player he's been. Mickey Van der Ven has been a great centre back for us. Adoji at left back. Him and Jed Spencer battered out for that position. Simons at cam, what a player he's been. Duran at striker, incredible. Tell, generational at left wing. Kudus, good at right wing. I mean, he wasn't the biggest player for us in this team, but not, as you saw by the stats, not a bad player for us in this team to have whatsoever. Bench wise, Mikey Moore, I want to use again. Every time I used him in this series, he felt good on the ball. Odobert, I would like to use again in the future. He was incredible for us last season. Maddison, well, we didn't really use much of him because I didn't really make many changes. The same with Bergvall, I want to use him again in the future. Perhaps Sova could sign, maybe Archie Gray could sign again. Vuskovic was used in a Mönchengladbach series, so I'm kind of glad we didn't really use him in this series as much as I wanted to, so I know how good he can be. Alfie Davana player that I want to use again in the future, 100%. I didn't actually use him in this series whatsoever. I thought I would, but with Bergvall and Bergvall and Maddison being ahead of him, I didn't really give him much game time. And overall, we just got a great squad. Like, this team is incredible. Like, Guirassy as a backup striker is insane. Like, we didn't really use much of him in today's episode, but he was kind of here as a fail-safe if Duran got injured or whatever happened. And luckily, we didn't have to use that fail-safe as much as we could have done. But what a team this has been. And what a way to end the series by beating Real Madrid 4-1 in the final. Could have been more. To be fair, Real Madrid could have scored more goals if it wasn't for Trubin in goal. But yeah, that's going to call it for the Spurs series. If you want to enjoy the episode, drop a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.